Hello and welcome back to the final Banished video. I will be ending as people starving. I is currently working in a field full of food. Not really sure how it works. I like how the snow is frozen. It looks really cool when you zoom and stuff. I will be ending this at the end of year 50. I could continue this for probably indefinitely if I actually continue to try. There's been a few changes. I removed the orchard up here and replaced it with a market to try and serve those houses a little bit more efficiently to help with food. I moved the orchard down here. It's probably not the best spot, but it was a quick spot I could get to. This is still going, you know, nothing's really changed here. The mines are operational. I built some, or am building some additional houses around work areas, and I built 2 additional new gathering huts, one all the way up there, and then one all the way down here. I can click on it, there you go. Yeah, they produced in a little bit of food. I was actually trying to see, I may as well let the game run, trying to see how many people we could actually have with this food production. And it looks like we're just barely past the threshold of how many people we can have before we start starving. I believe we technically, yeah, we produce more than we use. The problem is a lot of that production is from farms, so for a large chunk of the year, we're not producing a whole lot of food. I mean, we're probably producing half of our food in farms, maybe a little bit less, I'm not entirely sure, but this is not the most efficient town. I've since learned how to make slightly more efficient towns. Not the best towns, but this is hardly the most efficient thing, and our graves are full. You know what? Let's build more. Where are those at? They're here, right? Yeah. How big can I build these? And where could I build these without interrupting something else I'm doing? 20? So 20 by 20 is the largest. We'll do a 20 by 14 there. Right next to this person's really cold house. Age of 62. The vast majority of our deaths are actually people being crushed by rocks. It's kind of sad and depressing. Like 90% of the people who die get crushed by a rock, and then the other, you know, we're having a bit of a firewood issue because I kept dumping it in here. I kept dumping 1,200 firewood like every couple seasons into there, so I basically tried to stop doing that. We have enough firewood, we can easily handle it when I'm not dumping it all, so not too much of an issue. This would be such a good spot for a farm or something like that. But anyway, this will be how the town ends. I probably won't be building anything new. We'll just let the town run, see if it can actually sustain itself. We're actually above 400 pop now, I think. Or at least close. I think we're above 400 population now, so, you know, we're getting up there. I will probably come back to this game at some point later in the future. It's going to supposedly have some mod infrastructure for it, so you can create and run mods on it. We will see how that goes, and maybe I'll come back when there's some cool looking mods for it, who knows. Also, freaking iron mines are ridiculous. With 3 coal mines and 1 iron mine, we have no coal, and we're stacked on iron. I don't understand how this works. I need to, like, learn the ratio of things, like resources to tools and stuff like that, or resources to clothing, because we're not maxed on tools. We've been dropping in tool quantity for quite some time. And that mine is done. I'm curious, what does the terrain look like underneath a mine? Let's remove that. That was one of our coal mines, actually. Like, how many logs, how many coal, and how much iron makes a steel tool? That would be something that would be great to have on the interface. So you can quickly reference stuff like that. It's not there, obviously, but, you know, it would be nice to have. Oh, it looks like that. Okay. I'm not entirely sure how mining creates a mound of dirt, but no, whatever. I guess effectively what it is it's just that part of the structure, and you take off all the other stuff. But I don't know where this part of the structure came from. It's a little bit weird. Also, supposedly, your quarries, your used quarries can fill it with water. At least someone on Reddit posted a picture of that, where their quarry was full of water. I don't know what caused that, or how long they played to get that, because mine has not started at all, so... And just out of curiosity, yeah. It's the same two merchants keep showing up, and they keep bringing the same stuff over and over. It's kind of annoying. It's really easy to keep happiness and health up. I've not built another chapel, so only like half of our population can even go to that. The tavern's been producing a fair amount of ale, but it's not keeping up. So really the happiness, to keep happiness though, you just need cemeteries. That's pretty much it. I thought I told them to build houses over here. I guess maybe I didn't. I'm just having them work from this area. I haven't figured out quite why this market has so much stuff, but... Oh, that one does now. Okay. I'm not sure what happened here, but... Previously, this market and all of the storage stuff over here would have, like... And all this storage stuff is worthless, basically, now, because I have a market. It would have, like, nothing in it all the time, and I'm not sure what was going on there. I think it was caused by not having a market up here with so many houses. The market does reduce the amount of food that people store in their houses by a lot. So it allows you to, in fact, actually support a higher population by having markets, and it looks like our production has gone up again. Yeah, we're producing way more food than we're using. So... About to hit 300 adults. We do still have this problem of people starving to death when they're walking around. I don't know, like, why people live in certain houses and work in certain places, because I've been building houses, like, you know, in the central area and next to mines and stuff like that, but it doesn't seem to be dramatically helping, to say the least. Someone died. Starvation. Happens. Died during childbirth. I haven't actually seen that in ages. So this is the town of Comfortesia. Population of quite a lot. We have far too many children, by the way. Although at this point, like, I don't know what to put these laborers into. I guess we can just continue expanding, which is going to continue having this problem of people being spread too far out, but I don't know. There's not a whole lot to do beyond this point except for continue expanding the town. There is an achievement I'm actually missing, I think, that I should have, unless something's happening. I believe I'm missing the have one of each building in your town, but I think I have one of each building, so... Oh no, I don't have a boarding house. I never built a freaking boarding house, did I? Let's go ahead and try and build one of these. We'll put it down here or something stupid, I don't know. Sure. We have a billion laborers and a billion builders. That shouldn't take very long. Okay, let's go ahead and pin it. Just leave it right there. So that'll give me the achievement. I don't really care for the achievements. I was just curious why I didn't have that one. And then I completely forgot I didn't have a boarding house. There's another one to build a really big bridge, which I could probably do here. I think it's like a 50-unit bridge or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. Also, it looks like ants. It's actually kind of cool. I don't know why I like looking at ants so much, because I hate ants, but just watching the people run around, because there's so many of them at this point. It's just a stream of ants everywhere. It's kind of cool looking. Anyway. Has been completely removed. Now I gotta bring all the materials, which will take a little bit, because there's no materials that close to it. One thing I could and should do, if I am to continue this city, and we'll be ending it soon though, is split off these pastures into 3 more max-sized pastures, and then let those build up and produce even more food and stuff from those. Come on, builders. I know only 4 of you can work on this at a time, but there's 10 of you. Chop chop. And someone's probably going to look at this and be like, wow, you've got a lot of people who aren't doing anything. Like, someone mentioned you don't need the farmers during winter because they don't do anything. But if they're not doing anything, they're acting as laborers. So effectively, during winter, I have almost 100 laborers just running around for no reason. And I'm leaving it at 10 builders because 10 is more than enough. And when I'm not building anything, as far as I'm aware, they're acting as laborers. So this thing takes ages to build, wow. I don't know why anyone... I've seen people build these at the start of a town. I'm not sure why you would, considering how much it takes to build these compared to a house. Look at the mass graves going on over here, jeez. Jeez. This thing's always full, too. Do people actually go to this thing, or is it just a number? Well, there's the achievement. Builder. Alright. And this will house people who don't have a house. It's in like the worst location ever, but I also don't care. And I don't think anyone's going to use it, but someone died of old age. But anyway, why do we have one less builder? I don't know what happened there. But anyway, this is our town. It's full of many people doing many things. So it's not the biggest town in the world. In fact, other people have played this game for, you know, several hundred years in a single city at this point. I don't really have a whole lot of interest in that. I'll probably try and, on my own time, get a really good seed to get, like, you know, the most efficient town layout I could possibly try and build. Eventually figure that out. But in the meantime, this is the end of our lovely town of many, many people. We're up to... what is that? That'd be 456 people in this town. Let's actually look at some graphs before we end. May as well be 50 years, because that's basically what we're on. So tons of people, tons of adults too, which is really helping quite a lot. Citizens! We had a clothing issue for a bit there. Happiness has been alright, education has been going up and down, because my schools are maxed out half the time. Health and happiness have been pretty good the whole time. Food does that constantly. We almost starved there. That was like the panic moment when I started farming, I think. Logs never moves. Stone does that. Iron never really moves. Firewood does that because I trade with it. You can see when I trade and when I stop trading and stuff too. And I still don't quite understand coal. I mean, I know they put coal in their houses. And I guess they're using it as a fire source as well, or fuel source. But can they stop doing that? We seem to be maxed on tools again, despite losing one farm. I don't really know how that works, but okay. Tools! We had none for a while. We had a ton there. What happened there? Oh, was that when I put them in the trading post? Maybe. No one seems to use any herbs. Alcohol! We have an alcohol problem, it seems. Oh yeah, and the inventory is pretty good for figuring out what you have too much food of, what type of food you have too much of, and you'll notice this a lot in a lot of towns, is there's too much venison. I always have too much venison, which means I have like 2,000 food, which is more or less useless because the markets are going to distribute it evenly. Chestnuts, 0. Cabbage, 0. Why are some of these 0? It should just be not there, but whatever. Items in homes. Ah, okay, so stuff is in a different location then. Items in trading posts? Probably should be 0 everything. Yeah. Production, we produced 1 million food. Used almost 1 million food. 92,000 fuel. 34,000 logs. Where's iron? We produced 3 times as much coal as iron, and we never have any freaking coal. Jeez, what is this here? Clothed and educated is doing alright. Homes, 164. Families, 160. So we actually have more homes than families now. I had a period where I had more families than homes, which is probably why I slightly stagnated, but I kind of want to slightly stagnate. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you learned somewhat how to play the game, I guess, if you don't know already. It's not a terribly difficult game. The hard part is getting the initial setup, and I use hard loosely. The initial setup is pretty easy to screw up if you don't really know prioritization on, excuse me, buildings and stuff like that at that point. But yeah, beyond that, it's fairly simple. Just make sure you have enough food and you should be fine. Food and firewood, that's all you really need. Tools and clothing can be, you know, put on the back burner if you don't have food or firewood, because you can live without those, which will slow you down a bit. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.